Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I'm going to show you how to change your rear speaker in a Toyota Avalon. Now this happens to be a 2004, but this will be the same for 2000 to 2004, and I've changed quite a few of these. There is a repair kit made by Simply Speakers where you can cut off the old foam around the perimeter, which is usually what goes bad, and glue it back on. In this case, I am just going to change the speaker. I picked up a pretty inexpensive one online, and of course I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to do that as well. The repair kit is about $23, and the new speaker was only $20, so I thought in this case I would just go ahead and change it out and see how it sounds. Right now, this is what it sounds like. This is just the music to the end of one of my videos here. So as you can hear, it's rattling very bad, sounds terrible, and I'm sure that the foam is completely gone or worn away on this, just like all the other ones I've done. So we'll get this out and take a look at it and get the new one installed and see how it sounds. I'll probably just try to play that same track for comparison, see if it sounds any better. The first thing, just grab a hold of the enclosure here and just pull it straight back, just slide it back. And then once you have it out, just bring it over here to the side. Just unplug this electrical connector, just push in on this little white tab, pull it out, and then you can set the cover out of the way. Now there's just 4 10mm bolts that hold this little plastic housing in place. It's tricky though because it doesn't want to come straight out. Sometimes you have to lift up on this back deck. Sometimes these little caps have to come off, and a lot of times they break. You know, they sit in the sun and they just get real brittle. Just be mindful of that. If you break them, you know, you might be able to tack them into place with some adhesive or something to cover those anchor points for the car seats. Okay, and then we've got 4 10mm bolts. We can loosen and remove them. That's what those look like. Okay, now here is the tricky part, and a lot of people, you know, sometimes will break this. It's just like a masonite piece that sits on the top, but I have been able to get it out without breaking that, and I'm just going to see if I can remember how I did this. Now, before I take it out completely, we've got our connector right here, which is our speaker connector, so we can go ahead and just press in on this little white piece right here, just a little clip, and then pull that piece out, or pull out that connector like so, and just let that kind of hang out over here. The tail light connector can just kind of be pushed off to the side as well. And then here's the tricky part, is just I got to lift up on this. Now just bear with me here, I'll figure it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so takes a little bit of patience, but once you get one side up, you just kind of push the speaker to the left here, and then I've just don't want to catch my speaker wire there, but once you get one side up, it will come out. And there we go, we can pull this out. Now I was able to do this without damaging that back deck, and even without popping out these car seat anchors. I remember last time I think I did pop them out and to have a little bit more room to work, but this it's got just enough play in it to be able to get it up and over the one side. Okay, so here's our old speaker, and I know it's hard to tell because of this covering here, but if you look closely inside here, you can see that the foam is completely ripped. It's completely torn away from the cone, and that's what's causing that rattle. We're gonna just take off this plastic mount here. It's almost like a plastic housing that the speaker sits in. Just take off these 4 screws. And if you notice, the speaker just drops out of there. Now, we're still connected here with our wires. Now you have a few options here. You can unsolder the connections here, or you can just cut them and get new connectors. The new speaker has got the same little terminals here, and they're even marked with the red for the positive side. However, it's not. It doesn't come with any wiring or anything. And you know, in this case, it's long enough. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these. Here, I'm going to take off this little foam cover just to show you. I'm going to show you the condition of the foam here. See, that's just falling apart. So there's your problem. Again, the company Simply Speakers, they're a good company. They just make a little piece of foam rubber that you cut this off completely off of the cone, as long as the cone is still in good shape. With this one does feel fine. And then you basically are cleaning up this metal frame here, and then they give you the instructions and glue, and you do it, and it works out fine. I don't have any complaints. I think it's a good product. However, in this case, I just, you know, for the price, it was even cheaper to replace the speaker. So I thought, why not give it a try? A little less effort, a little less time. I'll let you guys know what I think once I'm done. But I'm going to set this JBL speaker aside, and then we're going to get our new speaker hooked up here. I'll just strip these wires here. There we go. And then I'm just going to crimp on these terminals here. These I just got I've just got tons of these. Actually have a little Harbor Freight little tray that comes with them, and you just want to line those up and crimp them on really good. Just make sure that that's a really good connection. Pull on it, make sure it's not going to come loose. Just fish that through till you see the wires right there, and then crimp it down. That's probably overkill, but they're on there, not going anywhere. And then connecting them is quite simple. Put the red on the positive side and the black on the other side, the negative side. But once you get those connectors on, we can just flip the whole speaker over. So remember, we've got this little notch right here in the, you can see that. So that's where your wiring just kind of pass through there. And now instead of screwing from the other side, what we're going to do is line this up, get it nice and centered, and then we're just going to put some screws in the perimeter. Just grabbed a few of these little self-tapping screws that I happen to have, and it's plastic, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And the perimeter of the speaker already has lots of holes in it for mounting, so I'm just going to try that. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to do one the other side here. Again, I'm just making sure that this is still centered. I might be just a little bit off, but at least that's what they tell me. But it'll work. Now that's looking better. I think the more we put in, the more snug it will be, and maybe the less likely to vibrate. I decided to put a screw in each one of these mounting holes. This speaker looks like it's moving up and down just fine. Nice clean look to it. Just double check, make sure your connections are on there good and solid. You know, I know a lot of people will solder these on, and that probably is better, but I hate soldering, so this is what I did. Hopefully these clips will stay nice and tight. Here comes the tricky part, of course, is getting this back down the same way that we got it out. And that magnet wants to fight us a little bit here, but so I think we just got this one up. We'll put this left side up underneath here first, carefully. Bring the right side underneath. I decided to go take a peek in the trunk, and sure enough, it was hitting on a little metal tab in the back. But other than that, we're pretty much in. I just wanted to get the wire over here plugged into the speaker first. Okay, so I just had to pull it back out because I just had a hard time getting this speaker wire plugged back in. Just a really bad angle. There we go. Alright, now that that's plugged in, we can try this again. Okay, that fought us a little bit more this time, but there we go. Then we can put those bolts back in. And just get all these bolts tightened down. Don't go crazy, but I would make them snug so that it's not going to rattle. Okay, and then we can bring our cover back over here. Just get it plugged back in. This is the brake light. And then just carefully line this back up. This part's tricky. There we go. It's got those little white things and they're difficult to hook sometimes, but that feels good. All right, now let's turn it on, see how it sounds. So here's that same track. It's just one of the ends of one of my videos, so there's no royalties in this song, but here it is again. That's with the bass turned up all the way. Sounds good. No more rattles. And you're done. I think it sounds great. Way better, of course, than the that crazy rattle and vibration that was going on before. And I would recommend this speaker. It does sound good, and that was not difficult at all. Very slight modification as far as the wiring and screwing it to the plastic frame. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. And of course, I'll put a link in the description where you can get this same speaker as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.